Coffee meeting. This time I'm meeting a fantastic lawyer from Italy, Domizia Badodi, advocate from a THEMIS studio legale in Reggio Emilia, north part of Italy. And we will be discussing some topics which I tell you a little bit later. But before that, hello Domizia, it's great to see you and have you on Legal Coffee meeting.
Thank you, Renata. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you and all our viewers.
Audience. I hope that the others will enjoy too. Before we start our discussion, I would like to say a few words about the Legal Coffee Project and Warwick Legal, what we are and what our goals are. So the Legal Coffee Project is a virtual project of within Warwick Legal Network, when we'll be meeting periodically with lawyers from different countries to discuss interesting topics. This time we are in Italy, but probably next time we'll be in Spain and expect more destination next legal coffees. Warwick Legal Network is an international network of law offices from different countries from the world, around 30 countries right now, covering Europe, US, India, China, and South America. We have a strong and business relationship with Association of Northeastern Asian law offices, which makes us a little bit bigger, around 600 lawyers serving for our clients and their potential needs and expectations. Today we are meeting with Domizia with a cup of coffee. Domizia, tell me a little bit about yourself, your specialization, and your firm specialization before we go to properties.
Thank you, Renata. I've been a practicing lawyer for more than 10 years now. And 5 years ago, I set up my own firm with 5 colleagues. And we wanted to create a law firm that could assist mainly entrepreneurs in Italy and abroad, thanks to Warwick Legal, since we joined the network from the very first moment of our law firm. And my specific areas of expertise include assisting companies in setting up controlled entities all around Europe, mainly, or extraordinary operations, or tax planning and governing the day-to-day business.
So a big and wide scope of services.
Exactly.
Really.
And
Yes.
Together with my colleagues, we are able to offer assistance also from the point of view of banking law, arbitration or litigation if needed, to protect the company's interests, and in general to organize all the life of the company, standing side by side with the entrepreneurs and the managers.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting. I think that it's good to know that we have so many law offices serving in different jurisdictions in case anyone needed an assistance there. If you work so much in so many areas, you probably need to drink a good coffee. So what's your favorite coffee, Domizia?
Well, I'm a fan of espresso is the only choice for me. And there's no ADV here, but we have made the choice of an espresso here in the office, and we are very good customers and clients.
Yeah, I know that espresso is very Italian. Yes, so
yes,
Italians drink espresso all the day, or just not after the dinner. After the dinner, espresso, not cappuccino, as I know from experience.
Crime. No, we drink coffee all day long, and there is no. Sometimes it's just an excuse to to exchange some point of view with a friend or a colleague, and it's just an excuse sometimes, but it's a good excuse.
Yeah, it's definitely better than something else, but a good opportunity to spend some nice times drinking coffee. I remember my first visit with Italian client, yes, when we started meeting, and after a few minutes they said, no, we need espresso. So we started with espresso, then we started another espresso. So the meeting was a little bit postponed because of espresso. So looks that coffee is definitely the definition of a good meeting. Yes, so it definitely
It
should
is. It is.
company. And don't drink cappuccino after the dinner. Yes, because I know that's not a good habit, I think. Okay, Domizia, when we think about the buying properties, let's imagine that the client wants to invest in property. We don't know with business property or private, as I understand you serve both. So how to do it wisely, if we couldn't say it in a few words? Ask a lawyer, yes?
Of course. Well, yeah, of course. As the jurisdiction and the laws on properties are very nation based, linked, so it is important to have a national support in terms of lawyer, but not necessarily, since there are a series of professionals that can be involved in the process of acquiring a property, be it from a natural person or from a legal entity wanting to invest in, I don't know, warehouse or office buildings to set up a branch in Italy, for example. As I said, there are a series of professionals that I would strongly suggest to involve. Well, one is the notary, because in Italy, property can be purchased only by notary deed, because the notary has double role, that is supporting the parties and making sure that their will, their intentions are clearly expressed in the
So
deed.
it's supporting both parties, yes?
Both
Similar
parties,
is
yes.
in Poland.
And as the second role is the one who obtains from the purchaser or the seller, depends on how this matter is governed, the taxes, and registers the properties in the land registers. So the notary is an essential professional. And another essential professional, in my point of view, is a technical professional. It is a chartered surveyor who can check before any binding contractual relationship is established between the seller and the purchaser. As I said, he can check, or he or she can check if the building is legitimate or has defects or needs intervention from the bureaucratic point of view that make it lawfully manageable on the market.
Domizia, because we discussed it a little bit before, and as I understand, it's good to have a whole knowledge about the status of a property before you make your offer. Yes, as I understand, it looks like this: that you have an offer, so the seller has prepared the offer, including the price, and then you check the real estate and say, oh, there are some, I don't know, faults or some crucial issue, and we shall reduce the price. It works like this?
Yes, well, normally when a foreign entity or a foreign natural person decides to invest in Italy, goes to a real estate agency. And of course, as in every field, there are those that are very professional and supportive and assist with the maximum transparency both the purchaser and the seller, and there are those that simply want to obtain a commission that is due at the same moment in which purchaser and seller agree that this building is of interest and will be sold by that seller to that purchaser. So that I would suggest to invest a little time before making a formal contact through the real estate agency in making a sort of due diligence of the building with the support of the lawyer, of the chartered surveyor, and even the notary, because the notary in Italy is chosen and paid by the purchasing party. So that all these three professionals can be of support of the purchaser. The notary then will assume those roles that I have already described, that are a guarantee role, both from the point of view of the actual will to purchase and sell, and from the tax point of view, of course. This is an interest of the state.
Are there any parts of Italy which are more dangerous? I mean, dangerous in a legal way of thinking, yes, but you need to check more things before you decide to enter into agreement.
Well, it depends, of course, on the status of the cadastral system. For example, in the northern part of Italy, there is a specific system. So, for example, if you plan to purchase a property in Südtirol, that is in the north of Italy, it is advisable to contact a professional there, because there is a very unique system in that case. In the south of Italy, the problems derives from the fact that not all the property passages have been registered in the registers, so that a support of course, a notary, a lawyer, and in that case, a chartered surveyor who can go on the place. For example, if you are talking about a piece of land, and check the exact borders of it, so that you are sure that you are going to buy that piece of land with that characteristic, is essential in my point of view.
Okay, so do you think that, because quite often we have real estates which advertise that they can take care of everything. I don't know how it works in Italy. In Poland, normally when you have a real estate agent, they take care really about everything if they are good agents. Yes, so you can trust them that they check everything, what is important, and show you this. How it works in Italy is before you decide to buy, you shall contact the lawyer. And probably when you buy a business plot, for example, yes, it's absolutely necessary to do it. I would recommend it.
Yeah, well, my first recommendation will be, don't sign anything before having spoken to a lawyer. So that if you want to contact directly an agent and express your not binding interest for that building or land or something, it is absolutely possible to do so, and that could be also an opportunity to check on the reliability of the agent, because in Italy more and more real estate agencies are offering on the market certified buildings. That means that I have already obtained from a chartered surveyor all the checks that I was describing before, and I've already obtained the history of the building dating back to the 20 years before, that confirms that the seller is the actual owner, and there are no risks in the past on the transcription of the property owners in the history of the building. So that it depends, and in any case, it is it is advisable to not to sign anything, because it has happened, unfortunately, that the the real estate agent submitted a form saying it is just a declaration of interest, not binding, and it was a preliminary contract, so that the client was not aware of what he was signing, and signing, sorry. And this is a risk because under Italian law, if you sign a preliminary contract for the purchase of a building or in any case a real estate, if you do not fulfill the obligation, the judge can confirm that contract and transfer the property on the basis of that preliminary contract, of course, force you to pay the price.
Wow, this is something important to remember, really.
It
So
is.
even the real estate agency contract, yes, you shall check it before what's in. Okay, so this is quite important remark. So we go directly to my question about the possible traps. Yes, so as I understand, the trap could be included in the text, so you don't need you need to write it, and better to consult with someone the wording of any document you are signing.
Yes, of course. The fact is that if you, for example, contact a lawyer to review the form that you have been submitted, the lawyer can certainly check what kind of form to be read as a contract you are going to sign, what are the conditions, and what you are accepting or not. Because, for example, if the building has defects and in the form it is written that those defects are known to you and you accept them, of course you won't have any possibility later on in court to sue the seller, for example, for the defects of the building. So it is advisable to have the text checked, and it is the opportunity also for the lawyer to include some conditions on that contract. If you're very interested in that building, let's say in that apartment on the Grand Canal in Venice, the lawyer can, of course, condition the validity of the contract to a series of checks or facts to become true in the future that, of course, are for your protection.
Okay, so that's I think that's nearly same. Yes, when I think about buying properties here. So, but I still think that people are not enough aware that when you sign everything or agree for something which you didn't really check, it could have potential legal consequences. Yes, so we shall be very careful, even with each word, yes, of this potential contract. Any other legal traps you've identified which could be useful for potential buyers?
Well, in general, yeah, it's to be careful on what you're going to do on the basis of the contract and that you have put on the contract. This is, of course, the legal side. Then there is the technical side, and this is why I strongly suggest to have the building checked by a professional before signing anything. Because
the expert,
first, oh, sorry, yeah.
The expert, which is not a lawyer, but the constructor or engineer.
Yeah, it's a chartered surveyor. In Italy, we have yeah, in the category of engineers, we have different specializations, and normally they can access all the cadastral maps and verify that the building is registered, and so it is legitimate and it's not an abuse, and can reassure you that what you're going to buy is correct from from the bureaucratic point of view. And this is important because this will later on allow you to sell the same property without
again,
any problem. Okay.
Yeah. If not selling, for example, let's imagine the situation when you think of the inheritance things. Yes, because when you buy a property in Italy, probably after your death, some complications will come. Yes. I think I can imagine there are some taxation rules which should be taken into consideration, probably.
Well, yeah, inheritance is one way of acquiring a real estate property in Italy.
Mhm.
And there are taxes connected. Well, in general, when you purchase a real estate in Italy, you are subject to the VAT tax, that is the one that is applied by the state, but obtained by the notary, and then he
Mhm.
will pay the state on your behalf. And when you inherit a property, you have a limit of 1 million euros of inheritance that is exempt from taxes,
Mhm.
so that you won't pay any tax on the inheritance itself until
Okay.
that cap. But of course, the possession of a real estate implies paying taxes. They are mainly municipal taxes, and depend on the place in which the building is located, and on the level of luxury that buildings express. Of course, the flat overviewing the Grand Canal in Venice has a higher value, and therefore a higher taxation than a little house in the mountains, not in the Alps, for example, or
Mhm.
on the least glamorous locations in the Alps. So
Okay.
it depends
I
on
think
the value.
that's interesting. And if we are talking about the taxes, are any taxes connected with the real estates? Because do you pay when you are an owner of a real estate? You pay regularis annually, monthly, some taxes.
Yes, those are annual taxes and are paid to the municipality. Of
Okay.
course, if you are owner of a building and that building generates income for you, for example, because you have rented it,
Mhm.
you also will pay taxation on the income you have obtained from the property.
It's probably percentage, yes, of your profit.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
It
and
is.
this annual is thing, so it's a percentage, is a concrete amount.
It depends on your overall income.
Okay,
So it's a yeah.
that's interesting. So they check it before to estimate the taxation for this.
Oh, well, I have to be clear. The municipal taxation, the one that is connected with the property, is
Mhm.
based on the extension of the real estate possessed.
Mhm.
And there are some calculations that are made municipality by municipality.
Mhm.
And those, yeah, in that case, I would say that is a fixed taxation, because it varies all along Italy, but it is not connected to any other personal, let's say, income. And instead, the in case you have income from real estate, you can choose a very you can choose the taxation that depends on your overall income, or a fixed taxation
Okay.
that gives you some benefits and has some ups and some downs. So it is advisable to wisely plan your real estate taxation in that case.
Mhm. Okay, so summing up this very interesting topic, which we could probably discuss long hours, but
Yes.
we don't want to discuss about all the things. We just want to point some the main important issues. Summing up, first of all, you need to be very careful before you sign anything. So you need to be sure that everything which is stated in any document, not only the agreement with real estate, the agreement with a landlord, some other document, you need to consult someone who knows and confirms that this is correct, yes, and this is in your interest. Taxation, you need to remember that there are taxes in Italy, and probably will be some transfer taxes too involved. And annual taxes connected with this property, depending on the the reason you buy it. Yes, if it's for commercial, it will be probably higher than the private reason. Anything else you'd like to add, Domizia, for this?
Well, it may appear that there are more downs than ups in buying a property in Italy, but I don't want to scare anyone, because owning a place in Italy where you can spend your holidays and enjoy it as we Italian do, it has no price.
That's true. And you are going to drink a lot of coffee when you stay in Italy. How many cups of coffee do you drink, Domizia, during the day?
Well, during the day, I have put myself a limit of 4, but if
Four.
it's a
Four
day
is
cup,
perfect.
even more.
Yeah, that's a good number,
Yeah.
really. And what's your favorite part of Italy?
Well, I love my city, as you know, because we are here in the middle of the food valley and the motor valley, so everything is easily
Well
reachable.
connected, yes.
Yeah, and as you know, we have very good service of high-speed trains that can bring you from the north
Yeah,
to the south
that's
in
fantastic.
less than a day. So don't make me choose. It's like choosing between mom and dad. I wouldn't
You
say that I love
choose.
north more than south or south more than north. I love Italy because it's a beautiful country, and I'm very proud to be Italian.
Yeah, that's true. That's beautiful, and there is very how to say destination which we all like, yes, for holidays. But I know that lots of Italians come to different to different not jurisdiction. Yeah, can't be a lawyer anymore. For different countries for a holiday, yes. So that's interesting. Okay, it was fantastic time. We had, I think, very good time together, because in the 30 minutes we gave you an essence of everything which is important. Domizia described it very interesting way, and I think pointed out the most important things. So, Domizia, thank you very much for your time. It was great to see you again. Have a good day, a good afternoon, hopefully sunny.
It is sunny here, and I thank you for this great opportunity, and can wait to see you not only through a screen but also in person.
Yeah, in person. It's always good to see each other in person, not only on screen. Thank you very much. It was because I didn't introduce myself at the beginning, so I will do it at the end. Renata Lewicka from GSW Kraków office, chair of board in Warwick Legal Network, and my guest was fantastic Domizia Badodi, advocate from THEMIS Studio Legale from Reggio Emilia. Thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.